Welcome to another week of the Alvin Yellow Jacket Football Show. I'm here with Coach James Gage. You might not have noticed him since he's not wearing a hat. But we are coming off a 58-35 loss to Dawson. Unfortunately, it was a disappearing act in the fourth quarter when they came out and scored 20 points unanswered. But you guys ended up falling 58-35 despite putting up 320 yards of total offense in that game. Just tell us a little bit about your impressions of the game.
Yeah, kids came out firing on all cylinders. We knew they were going to try to do some onside kicks and tricky stuff. They've done it to us in the past, and they actually attempted 3 onside kicks the other night. We recovered all 3, so we were able to have a short field early on. Opening kickoff, they tried onside. We recovered. We went down and scored, took the 7-0 lead. They go down and score pretty quick to tie it up 7-7. They tried onside kick again. We recover. We go up 14-7. So it's a little bit back and forth early in the first half. And, we go in down 24. They hit a last-second field goal to go up 24-21 right there before the half. And they came out, scored to make it a 2-score game right off the bat. We scored to get it back to 3. It kind of went back and forth. It was, like you said, 38-35 at the start of the fourth quarter. It was 4th and goal, and they tried to run a quarterback sneak. And we initially stopped the charge, and he rolled off the pile and ended up falling in the end zone for a touchdown. We went back on a drive, and we had the ball on about the 35-yard line going in, and we fumbled the ball, got us off track. We ended up not making a 4th down play. They went down and scored to go up. At that point, they missed the extra point to go up 16. And we just eventually ran out of gas. Our kids battled. Man, I'm so proud of them for how hard they played, how hard, they continue to show up and prepare. But ultimately, at the end of the night, we were right there with them, and they just, they made 1 or 2 more plays that we didn't make. And, they were a little bit deeper than we are, and it showed in the fourth quarter. Like I said, our kids battled, but eventually they just ran out of gas.
The week before, you guys had the special teams mistakes against Manville. How happy are you that you were able to get the 3 onsides and have special teams really show up?
Right, and I'm very happy with that. We gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown, though, the other night, and that's been one of the deals that we've been trying to deal with, all year. We put our kids in positions, and 1 missed tackle, and there he goes. And so we've got to figure out a way to be sound and special all the way across the board and not just in 1 or 2. But obviously, knowing that they were going to go in and attempt some onside kicks and then still going out and recovering all 3 of them, very pleased with that. We had a couple good punts on the night, which ultimately, great snaps, which we'd had some trouble with earlier on in the year. So we feel like we're getting some stuff cleaned up, but we're not exactly where we want to be yet on the special teams. But, it was a good effort, especially by the kickoff return team, taking care of business, giving us the short field. And, then you got to give the offense kudos for going down and executing on the short field.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to take a look at the execution on the offensive side of the ball right after this break. All right, welcome back. We are looking at the game versus Dawson, in which we unfortunately fell 53-35. Let's take a look exactly what happened in that game and see some of the bright spots.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look at some of the highlights. All right, so this was the second drive of the game, 7-7 game at the time. We had just actually pitched the ball on the ground, so it's 3rd and 17, and we don't have a whole lot of 3rd and 17 plays in the playbook, but we run the little throwback hide to our tight end right here. We try to get full flow across the field. I knew they were going to be bringing some weak side pressure right there, and so I knew they had a chance to be open. I didn't think we'd get a 30-yard gain off of it. My hope was to get anywhere from 8 to probably 12 yards and get us in a 4th and manageable situation. But Drew does a good job, really selling the fake, setting his feet, and then Zane times it perfectly and just finds the open hole, and he finishes his run right there, lowering his shoulder and, getting 2 or 3 extra yards. So, really well executed play. And the funny thing about this is we put this in about 2 weeks ago, and it's looked real sloppy in practice. And, it's been one of those ones you call it at the right time, and we just happened to call it at the right time. And, we were joking about it. It hadn't looked that good in practice yet, but when it's time to run it, it looked perfect. So really good job executing right there. But again, Drew does a good job setting his feet, throwing the ball to Zane right there, and then offensive line gives us just enough time to get it off. All right, this was 4th and goal from the 3. This was I believe they had a 10-point lead at the time, so this cut it back to 3 points for us in the 3rd quarter. And so, good job right there executing. I kind of got us off track. We were 1st and goal, and I had a bad play call. And got us, to a 2nd long situation. We were able to get in a 3rd and manageable. This was 4th and goal. I told our kids, you want to kick the field goal or go for it, and they said, Coach, we're going for it. And so, we were able to just put the ball in our fullback, Sammy Fernandez's hand right here, get a really good charge right there by Zane Bailey, Jeremiah Lewis, and Josiah Miller right there on the left side. Chino gets just enough right there, number 3 of his guy, to where Sammy can get up underneath him, and then, he fights for that extra yard, falls in the end zone. So you see the excitement out of our quarterback. Again, really proud of the kids and the effort they played with the other night, and, the excitement that they played with. And
you see the whole line pushing all together there.
Right. The last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they've really come along and really starting to, not starting to. You can see we've got over 300 yards rushing the last 4 weeks, and when you're doing that, you're doing some pretty good stuff up front. All right, this was our 4th touchdown. This made it 28 for us right here. This was they started pinching inside and taking away everybody inside, so we called our midline scheme, and the ball ends up bouncing because everybody gets kind of pinned inside, and Drew does a good job. Obviously, he makes the right read. We're trying to actually run inside, but you can see right there the outside linebacker gets pinned inside, which then opens up the outside for Drew to kind of bounce right there. The safety's eyes, or the corner's eyes right there, just enough to where he peeks inside, and Drew's able to get outside of him right there.
How much are you yelling at him at this point? Switch the ball to the other hand.
Yeah, at that point, from my angle, as soon as I knew right here, I knew he was going to score. So, I think I'd turned around and started holding up the one at that point to get the extra point team ready. So, but no, he's right-handed, but he's comfortable carrying the ball in his left hand. So, but yeah, no, that's always something we look for. But at that point, from my angle, I could tell he was going to score, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Taking advantage of them pinching in on
Yes, absolutely. So this was after a turnover right here. We did have one turnover the other night. It was a 10-point game. We got a big fumble, and so we knew, all right, we go score. We cut it back to 3 points right here. And good job. Again, left side of the offensive line just really dominated the other night. Really, both sides of the line dominated. But I think Sammy, we were talking the other day, this may have been his 2nd or 3rd longest run of the year, but this was his longest touchdown of the year. But, again, this was first play right after a turnover. And so this is exactly what you got to do after a turnover. You get the ball back in your hands. You go right at them a little bit. We get a good block right there by Chino. We get the good double by Zane and Jeremiah. And then Sammy's just able to find a little crease and accelerate, and is strong enough again that guy holds on to him at the 6-yard line, and he finishes his run in the end zone. So just a really good execution play, and just a good tough run by Sammy. He had 137 yards the other night and 4 touchdowns. So really good night by him.
Seems to be getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, and he's rushed for over 100 the last 2 weeks. I think he's rushed for over 350 the last 3 weeks. So he's really starting to settle in there. He was one of our offensive players of the week last week. And then Jacoby Small, sophomore right guard for us, making only his probably 4th or 5th start. He's getting better and better every time out too. So he played really well the other night and earned an offensive player of the week.
All right, let's take a look now at
Yeah, rolling over to the defensive side, this was early on, 14-7 game. This was first down. We get them off track a little bit, got them into a 3rd and long situation. Jalen Peterson does a really good job right there staying home. You can tell, see on the perimeter, we got 3 for 3. And then again, we knew their quarterback wasn't a big runner, and so we knew we could slow play it a little bit right there, and if he pulled it, we'd be okay in a position to get him down. And again, this was first down, got them off track a little bit. Eventually, they ended up scoring on this drive, but we had them in a 3rd and long situation, and we preached to our kids, that's where we want to be, is 3rd and long. We just now got to find a way to get off the field on 3rd down.
How tough is it preparing for a team that mostly passes like Dawson does?
It's tough for us week in and week out because we know we're going to see speed on Friday night that we don't have here. So simulating speed on Friday nights is tough for us. Schematic-wise, we can get lined up to formations. We can, we can't cover every play, throughout the course of the week. So we try to take their top 3 or 4 schemes that they do, in the run game, top 3 or 4 in the pass game. Make sure we really lock in on those, and then we just play football with the rest. But for us, the toughest thing is simulating game speed because again, when you're playing Dawson, you're playing Shadow Creek, you're playing Manville, they just got kids that are faster than us, and so sometimes it takes our kids a couple series to get used to that speed. But I'm proud of our kids for how they prepare, proud of our coaches for how they prepare. They do put our kids in position to be successful, and ultimately at the end of the day, we got to find a way to make plays. All right, so This was the next play, actually. They run a little slip screen, try to get some yardage back. We do a good job staying home right there. That's Will Mowerhand reading the screen. He kind of forces those two linemen to come get him right there on the perimeter, which opens up both linebackers right there. There's Trace Martinez. There's Hodson showing up in the picture. Chris Macias right there. But just a really good job recognizing that it's a screen and then settling back down right there. I think that's Colton Meyer on the back end, number 84 right there. He initially rushes upfield, realizes, and then he runs the field line right there and is in a position to make a play. So Ethan Evans, one of our safeties, is up there making the tackle, he's playing corner in this series. But he kind of follows and trails number 4 inside and is able to fall in as well. So really good job recognizing the screen and then pursuing the football.
Good pursuit and not over pursuit.
Not over pursuit is key when it comes to running a screen. So this was the next possession. This was first down, I believe, and this got them into second long situation. Again, Jalen splits the double team right there and is able to hold on and get the help from Trace that he needs. But just a really good play from Jalen right there, real aggressive. That's one of those plays, if you get pinned, they've got the edge. But honestly, Ethan Evans behind him right there is in a good position. So he does a good job. Jalen does knifing through, untouched right there, and is able, like I said, once he gets there, get him, wrap him up, and get him to the ground. All right, this was the turnover. We finally started saying at halftime, take the running back out, take the running back, make the quarterback beat us, and I don't think their quarterback was comfortable running. He's a thrower. He's got 1,800-something yards passing this year, so we knew he didn't really want to run, and honestly, he probably should have given the ball right there. I don't know what the confusion was on their part, but we do a good job. That's Chris Macias falls on it, and then Oscar Lamelli was right there in case he didn't. So, and then again, we scored the next play. It was a 10-point game at this point, so I think at this point they were trying to settle in, run the ball a little bit, run some time off the clock. And we were able to, fortunately fall on the fumble and score the next play.
How much do you like it as well to see your guy just jump on the ball and not try to scoop it up and score there?
I'm kind of torn, It's one of those deals. We talk to our kids. We kind of have county and country. We call it county and country. If you're out in the county, you're kind of by yourself. We want those balls picked up. If you're in the city, not county and city. If you're in the city, you're real crowded. There's a lot of people fall on it at that point. So, for us, I probably count this as a county one because there's really nobody around the ball. He's got an opportunity right there to maybe scoop it and go score. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we tell him too, if you're unsure, just fall on it. So we'll anytime you can get the ball back to our offense, that's what we want.
You guys took advantage of it.
We did. And so, we had 2 clips of Jalen on there. He was our defensive player of the week the other night. Played really well. Probably, Coach Hardy, his defensive coach, said he's probably played the best game he's played this year. So, really proud of the effort that he played with the other night.
Definitely some good penetration.
Right, no doubt.
All right. Well, we're going to take another look at some Florida plays.
Yeah, we got more special teams here. So, like I told you earlier, we recovered 3 onside kicks. This was the first one. Honestly, really good execution by Dawson. They have 2 really good kickers, and he puts this ball exactly where only his guy can get it. Fortunately for us, it went right through his hands, and then we were able to recover. This was the opening kick of the game, and you can see we've got everybody up there because we were anticipating it. But again, when you got 2 really good kickers like Dawson has, they're able to do this kind of stuff. But sometimes you got to get lucky. And in this situation, we got lucky. The ball went through his hands, and we were able to recover it right there. And then again, we went down and took the 7-0 lead right off the bat.
Were you surprised that they tried so many onsides on you?
2, but not 3. In the second half, they went up 10, and then they tried another onside kick. I knew their goal was to try to push the score to 2 leads. They wanted to go up 2 scores and then settle in. And so I knew at some point when they took a lead, they were going to try to onside it. But when they were up, they were already up 2 scores, and they went for an onside. That one kind of surprised me a little bit. But we told our kids, don't be surprised. And the third one that they kicked right to us, and we were able to recover it. This was the second one. It was they had just scored to tie the game up. So this was a 7-7 game, and again, they wanted to try to get the lead on us, and they knew if they could get the lead and hide the ball from us a little bit, that was going to work into their advantage. But Zane actually does a good job right there, 85. He avoids the ball. He actually goes and takes out 2 kids to allow Clayton Gertis the opportunity to come up behind him and recover the onside kick right there. So really heads-up play by Zane, not trying to go get the ball. Instead, he gets out of the way and then takes on 2 guys to free up Gertis the opportunity to come make the play.
Yeah, Nice way to step up.
So, and then this was the third one. Like I said, this was probably the easiest one of the night. The kicker kicked it a little bit hard, kind of a one bounce right into the chest of Zane. Again, this was the one when they were up 10 that honestly I was surprised at. But I told our guys up front, don't be surprised. And so they listened to me and they were ready for it. And again, we had the short field. So yeah, we had 300. I think the final was around 330 total yards. We had 22 first downs the other night. In 3 possessions, we started at our own 50. So, and then 1 on our own 16. So, 4 scores, all less than 53 yards. And so, had they kicked it deep, I think we probably could have ran some more time off the clock, limited how many plays they ran. But the 4 times we had the ball short field, we were able to score on it. So that's exactly what you want to do.
Not having those longer possessions, is that why you guys kind of tired in the fourth quarter on defense?
We ran 68, 69 plays on offense and only had to defend 36 on defense. So they were just so explosive. They averaged, I think, 13 yards a play. I think offensively we got tired and we kind of got off track a little bit there in the fourth quarter, and we weren't able to execute offensively the way we needed to, which at that point put our defense back on the field. So if somebody was going to be tired, I would say it was probably our offense. And that's no excuse. We still got to find a way to finish games, and but there is in the fourth quarter. We just dropped the ball. We were coming off the mesh, going to tuck the ball away, and we just dropped it. It wasn't a forced fumble. It was just we just dropped the ball. We recovered, and we were in second and I think 13, as opposed to we were about to be in probably second and 2, second and 3. So little things like that were the kind of the difference in the game, because our offense isn't built to second and 10, third and 9. That's not good for us. We want to be second and 6. We want to be third and 2. We want to kind of stay on track. So when we get off track a little bit, it kind of hurts us a little.
All right, let's take a look at the special.
Well, we had one more punt. I guess Coach Costa snuck this punt in there on us, but no, good execution. Like I said, Jacob Baez did a good job filling in at center for us this week. We've been having some issues with it, and again, his 2 snaps the other night were on point. Protection was good right here, and then James Keelan did a great job punting it to the sideline where we want it, and then we were able to cover down and let the ball roll. So anytime we can punt, kind of flip the field and not give them a chance to return is always a good play for us.
All right.
So there's your players of the week. We gave it to the 3 kids who recovered the onside kicks. We felt like those were big plays in the special teams to recover them and give us the ball back. And again, we were able to go get 21 points off the 3 onside recoveries. So Hayden Perkins, Zane Bailey, and Clayton Gertis get the players of the week for us.
They get the game balls.
That's it.
All right. Well, we've got more hardware to hand out as well after this break, so stick with us. All right, welcome back. We are now going to hand out a little bit more hardware.
Yeah, I think we got a couple extra players of the week to go over from this last week. I think we got big hits coming up first. So our big hit this last week was Caden Hodson, and it kind of went unnoticed because it was on special teams. It was on one of the onside kicks. Kids running to try to get the ball, and he kind of goes and hits him under the chin, and we used to call it a decleater. He knocked him off his feet. But that was our big hit of the week. Again, I told them that those type of plays, especially the opening kickoff, kind of set the tone for the night that it's going to be a hard-hitting ball game. And so Caden Hodson, I think that's probably the 3rd or 4th time he's won that award this year. He takes pride in getting that big hit. And then offensive crush was Jacoby Small. This was actually the first offensive play of the night. He pancaked a guy right off the bat. We told him, again, that's an opportunity for you to set the tone and let them know you better strap up because it's going to be a physical game. And so to get the offensive crush, which is kind of our big hit on the offensive side of the ball, first play of the game really sets the tone.
And setting that tone allowed for that successful rushing attack, obviously. All right, now your next game, you're playing Pasadena Dobie.
Yes,
what
sir.
are you expecting from them?
They're an athletic football team. They're fighting for their playoff life. They're sitting at 4-4 right now, and they've got to win out, get a little bit of help to get in the playoffs, but they've still got an outside chance at getting in. So we know we're going to get their best shot. They've got 2 really talented running backs, probably the best running back in the district. So we've got to be able to find a way to contain him. They're big up front on the defensive end, and they're real skilled on the secondary. So, we're going to have to play well to move the ball on them, and we'll have to play well to slow them down a little bit. But I think they're averaging. I think they've scored 308 or 307 points this year, and they've given up 308 points, and then they're 4-4 record. So, they've had some high scoring games, they've had some low scoring games. So, we don't want to get in a shootout with these guys. We want to get it to the fourth quarter and have another 24-21 type of game, and see if we can't go close the fourth quarter out this week.
Talk about the emotions of this game as well. This is the last home game. It's going to be senior night. Just talk a little bit about the emotions there.
Yeah, we celebrated our senior night for football players week one. We want it to be an exciting night for them, not kind of a depressing, gloomy night. So we get that out of the way. But it's anytime you don't have to talk to it about the kids. They know, hey, this is the last time I'm ever going to step foot on this field and for a game situation. And so you try not to bring that up a whole lot throughout the course of the week. You try to just make it another game. And our kids have had a tough week this week, bouncing back from that loss against Dawson, where, like you said, it was so close in the fourth quarter. We've been trying to rally the troops a little bit, kind of get some spirits back, and the weather hadn't cooperated a whole lot with us. So I'm kind of anxious to see what our kids look like tomorrow on the field. But I don't have any doubt at 7 o'clock they'll be ready to play. Put all that stuff aside. At 7 o'clock the ball's going to be kicked, and we got to go play a football game. So we're going to show up and see what we can do.
You guys have been definitely successful in the running attack, so we can expect more of that, and hopefully we come out on the good side.
Yeah, that's what we do. We run the ball. We throw it when we people always say, why don't you throw the ball more? I say, well, we throw it when we have to, not because we want to. We feel like we want to control the game. We want the chains moving. We want the clock running, and we want to try to keep our defense off the field as much as we can, because we just know that there's so many explosive players in our district that eventually, against us, are going to find a way to get loose. And so, for us, we're going to continue to put our hand in the dirt, snap the ball, and try to run at people the best we can. And if they get too close to us, too tight to us, we'll try to throw the ball over the top. But we're expecting another good night offensively, and we're expecting a better effort out of our defense this week too.
Okay. Well, it's Halloween tonight, so we're going to expect a treat for tomorrow night. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Jacket pride never dies.